hit the record for. There we go.
Yeah.
Philip, apologies. I think I'll send you your email right after. Awesome. So what I've done is, Philip mentioned, obviously, you guys want to start putting in efforts into market validation, as well as doing maybe even the MVP side of things, like what to actually build and what to produce. So with Meta Modules, you guys have a landing page already, got some assets. Now, what I've done is I've gone ahead and created a document, which I'm going to take you through today. I will send you this document as well, of course. So this is 100% yours. Keep in mind, when IRCC asks for progress updates, you will be sending them this document as well to show that you've actually hired someone, to get consultants. It shows the effort you're putting in as well, which is not untrue. You have done exactly that. So what I've done is I've put together a professionally designed validation starting guide. And then today I'm also going to walk you through exactly how this process works and answer any questions you have in how the marketing side of this is going to work. Okay. So this document will also act as a brief. So if you hire, you mentioned you'll be hiring people in India. So when you work with them, the hardest part is explaining to them what they have to actually execute, explaining the business. All of that is in this document. So you just send them that and then let them ask questions. And from there, it should be a lot easier. So it's a fully designed document. It's a couple of pages only because you don't want to get too detailed into what they need because they will also execute. So I've started off with firstly explaining what is Meta Modules and what the goals of marketing validation are. So obviously, you remember you have your pitch deck as well, which we designed for you a while ago. Whoever you hire to do your marketing, send them the pitch deck and the ideation deck as well. So they understand your business completely. Now, in addition to that, what we're going to do is the IRCC wants to see 3 different things. Not necessarily huge amounts, but any movement in those 3 areas. First is, have you got activity on social media? So usually when you do Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that, you get reports back. Like you get like analytics, right? So you will actually screenshot those analytics, put them in a report file and submit it to the IRCC. Like, look, I've got so many people following us. We're building a following. We're getting people to actually start understanding what we do. Number 2 is website visits. Now, your MVP Lite that you produced, the landing page that you have already has ability to track how many people are visiting your page. So you will obviously connect this with the marketing team. They might install some extra stuff on it. And when you need that help, I'm here to help you on that. Like if they need to put a
question that I was asked is what language have you used to create the page? Is it a WordPress page?
No. We've used HTML, CSS, and JavaScript predominantly. I have used WordPress to kind of extract it because I didn't want you guys to have to spend money on hosting yet, right? Because I wanted MVP Lite, not full MVP yet. So what I've done is I've used WordPress to design the page, extracted the code, and uploaded everything into GitHub. Which you have full access to. Anytime like someone wants to come in and make changes, they just have to give me their GitHub login and I can attach them into the project as owners.
All right.
And the good thing is, if you don't have WordPress designers, you can even have someone just use basic HTML, JavaScript, and JS. They can directly jump in and make changes. You don't need to use the WordPress side. Okay. So the other part is website visits. So Google Analytics, big move there. Make sure you have that up and running when you do any marketing validation. That's like the first step you will install usually. Then you have inquiries. Now, remember your landing page actually has a form where people can fill in to get requests, right? So what you want is every email that's legit, because sometimes you get fake emails, it's normal. But when you get a legitimate customer query going, hey, I want to learn more, or I would like to upload my assets there. What you want is in the marketing, you're going to basically drive people to this website and say more and more people fill in that form. Every form that's legitimate and filled in, you can screenshot and show the IRCC, look, people are genuine. Canadian people are interested in my product. So then, who are the 2 people your marketing team needs to attract? I've broken it down very easily. So number one, you want to target event companies. Now, Mr. Drago, your background is very strong in that industry already. So I want to utilize that as your primary strength, right? So communicating with other event companies will be very easy. They can show, look, this is Mr. Drago. He's worked with event companies all his life. He's now doing something that's cutting edge and new for Canadian event companies. So the marketing team can put together a list of event companies, email them. That's one option. Or when you target on ads, for example, you will use words that are targeting event companies. And I'll show you how to do that as well. Now I even wrote, like, I'm not going to repeat word for word. This is more for you to read whenever afterwards you forget what I said. You can just read this document. Then you have the 3D asset designers. Now, I want to show you what that looks like, because I don't think many people understand who these designers are. So here's a YouTube video. Can you guys see?
Yeah.
This guy is using a tool called Blender, which is a very popular tool in 3D asset design. And you can see he spends like 1.5 hours live making models in Blender for Metaverse. And this is like a tutorial. So this is the effort these designers are putting in to make assets. To eventually then, if I keep forwarding, he's making different assets. So a desk, a whole world. These are the type of different assets you'll be selling on their behalf. So they will upload, they will sign up to your eventual version 1 when you do not the MVP Lite, but the MVP. That one, they could sign up. You would attract people like them. That's what I mean by when I say, let's attract 3D asset designers. They're the ones that can start selling to the metaverse. Because right now, if you're a 3D asset designer, you're just waiting for a client. It's like a designer, right? You just wait for clients. But with your business, you can actually get people like event companies saying, we need custom assets. So you can get them to go like, hey, come to our site, sign up. And when customers want something, we'll even give you jobs. Why not? Now, this is a big statement, because when IRCC asks you, what are you doing in progress? You will show them like, look, we're trying to create jobs for Canadian designers. This is very big as a move. So sell their designs on the platform, sell assets multiple times. So they don't just sell it to one client. They could sell the same thing they designed to 20 clients, which is in the business plan that you have as well. I mentioned the word Envato, because a lot of Canadian designers are selling on Envato already. 2D assets. So to show that Envato has...
On what, sorry?
Envato. ENVATO. It's like a digital asset. It's one of your biggest competitors, but they're too like wide variety. That means they sell everything. They're not focused on metaverse, and there's no search for metaverse actually as all. So this is the problem with the Envato market. Let me just show you. So if I search for graphics, this is your competitor. It's good to explain this to your designers as well. These are 3D assets, but you can see they're not metaverse ready. This is the problem, right? And it's not related to events. It's totally randomized. So what Meta Modules does is it's metaverse ready assets. Because your innovation later, which you haven't built yet, but the idea is when you go into Canada, you will build these tools that will allow them to convert their 3D designs into metaverse ready. That is how you collect emails, which is what you need right now, as I said. So remember, you're not selling anything yet. You're not actually turning into a marketplace because you don't have that ready yet. You're just collecting emails for people that are interested in this idea. And that's what you need to show to IRCC. You're going to convert this into 3 channels: social media, email marketing, and search engines. Search engine, kind of your job is done for you. Now you just have to maybe spend a bit of money to do Google Ads. Very common for all the clients we work with. Like they will spend some amount of money, which I also produce the calculation for you down. I'll scroll down to that later. But in social media, I want you to create a Facebook page. You have to create a Facebook page ASAP. Because guess who's the biggest player in Meta? Meta. And they own Facebook. So you want to create a Facebook page because that is needed to connect to ads if you want to do Facebook ads, which I think is a very unique proposition for you, Because most of the clients that I work with, they will do Google ads, right?
Yeah.
But for you,
Yeah.
because you're metaverse, advertising on Meta
Meta.
makes more sense.
Yeah.
And then, of course, through that, you make sure you have an Instagram page as well. If your Indian marketing team can maybe create some posts to show, like, look, we have minimum at least 20 posts, is very good.
Yeah.
You don't need to keep paying money yet. Just put something there that looks like you've been doing stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
And that way they can show, wow, okay, they've created their social media presence, they're doing advertising, they're getting traction, they're increasing followers. You see the move here?
Yeah.
We put that as a
Yeah.
package to IRCC saying, look, we did all this before even coming to Canada. And that's kind of the thing. Now, why I say email marketing, you don't necessarily need to send anything yet, but go to MailChimp and sign up for it. You know that form I use on your website right now is from Google Forms, right? It's a very simple form. It connects to your email, job done. But eventually, the marketing team might want to set up MailChimp. MailChimp is a service. They have a free version. You just need the free version. Until you launch this as a real business, just use the free versions. Use MailChimp, and they will give you a code that you might have to replace the MVP with. So marketing teams very commonly will replace the code on your website to add new things in. That's very common. The Indian team can have access to your your GitHub site as well. So they can jump in and make changes directly. So all they have to give me is maybe their GitHub username, and I will make them a permission inside. That way you don't have to worry about security and all that. We will still cover that for you as part of your application process.
Okay.
Search engines, as you know, you need to be found on Google, right? So all the SEO stuff for one landing page is kind of done for you. You don't need to do too much there.
Yep.
Again, like I said, telling a marketing team to make changes, that's totally up to you. It's in your control there. They might suggest something and you might say yes, let them make changes. But the reason they make changes about the content on your website is to attract more people through search. That means if I go on Google and say, buy metaverse assets, hopefully I start landing on your website.
Okay. Yeah. That's only once you start doing it regularly, then it'll up that.
And remember, it takes time, right? That's why we always recommend for market validation, whole year. That's a 1 year package usually. So when you work with your Indian team, get them to do two things predominantly. Maybe post a little bit on social media regularly, like once every 2 weeks. I think that's a good move. And then for Google Ads, I have a budget plan for you. I designed it for you already. So let's move on first. Now, the problem you're going to have is how do you explain to an Indian content team what to post? Because they might come up with things, you're not sure what is correct, what is wrong. So these are the key topics I want you to focus on when they create content. So that way you don't even have to worry about the brief to tell them what to create. I broke it down to left-hand side is for designers, right-hand side is for event organizers. So you target the two people we like. Recurring revenue. That means you can promote to designers, hey, look, you make your assets, people make sure that people keep buying it on Meta models. That's recurring revenue. Telling them that you can make money. Now, this is very important because if you understand the Canada market right now is going through some tough times, a lot of designers, 3D designers are losing their jobs. So for them, getting a sign up to this, perfect timing. Safety with blockchain. Now, this happens to a lot of 3D designers. Someone will steal their work. Like, you know, like I can download your file and maybe I'll use it without permission. So because you're working with Metaverse and Meta Modules uses blockchain in the full version. So you will say, look, we can track the usage. If someone uses your asset, we can track it on blockchain because they'll be able to track back that you're the owner. And in the smart contract, this is now technical, but in this sort of Web3 universe, you can actually have a contract attached to the asset saying if you use it in different websites, it will not work automatically. Unless you pay. Exactly.
Unless you pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the blockchain comes in. It controls everything and it cannot be faked or changed or hacked. That's the security you bring to that community. And then free marketing. Think about it. All these designers, they're trying to sell their product. You know how designers are. They're always trying to sell something. It's very hard. What you're doing is giving them a free platform to market their product. So eventually what will be amazing is towards the end of market validation, if you attract 2 or 3 designers, you can tell them, hey, if you want to promote your products, send us a link. We will attach it to our MVP. So people can buy your product as a test. It's
Okay.
just a sample to showcase that you're promoting and helping designers sell product. You don't need to make money on the MVP. You just need to show it works. And then the last thing is finding long-term clients. The big news about event companies, which Mr. Drago, you know very well. When event companies hire designers, they work with them for life, as you know.
Yeah.
You've been working with the
Yeah.
same clients for so many years. I want you to promote that fact to other designers because they can have your career experience. That's the beauty of it. Bringing back, like saying, Mr. Drago has worked with so many clients before. You can be like that. Join Meta Modules and have an opportunity to meet long-term clients. That's kind of the post. You know what I mean? Now for event organizers, now this is going to hit home, I'm sure. 90% of events I've ever worked with in my life, all last minute changes, urgent. Everything is urgent. Deadlines
Everything
are like
is
6 weeks. Yep. It's like the tradition of event, right? So you promote
Yes.
this saying you have urgent need. Think about it. The people panicking, they're like, oh my God, we need to add a stage. We don't even have the designers have failed us. Go to Meta Modules and very quickly you can buy a pre-made asset and just plug it in. Quick turnarounds.
Yeah.
Customized reusable assets, which means you buy it once, you can use it in 5 events, 10 events, just change the logo of the client.
Yeah.
So you can, but maybe we can sell it in different licenses later. Nothing to worry about right now. These are just ads so that they give you the email. They're like, we want this. Hassle-free metaverse setups. A lot of these event companies in Canada, from my research, are still looking for people to help them build. And you won't believe this. In Canada, there's only 2 or 3 companies that can help you build a metaverse right now.
Okay.
Think about the market penetration you will get saying like, you want to launch a metaverse, Meta Modules will help you. We will compile all the assets together, build your metaverse for you for your next event. And then interactive. This part is super important. If you remember the site we built for you, you can actually play with the thing. You can turn on the lights, turn off the lights, goes flashing.
Yeah.
Smoke can come out of a smoke machine. That is what you want to as well. So this is the strategy. What I want like the Indian marketing team to do is follow these kind of posts.
Nikki, can I ask you for a favor? Is it possible for you to sort of make one post for each? And
Already done. Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't done it for each. I've done one sample for an ad. But if you
Okay.
want me to add a post for each, no problem. I'll do that for you after this call.
Yes,
Very quickly.
thank you.
And then that will give much easier
Yeah,
experience.
it'll be much clearer for us, or even Mr. Drago to
No problem. No problem. I'll make a sample post for you for each of these.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll add that as a second page. No problem. Now let's talk about spending money because this is important. I like to save money wherever possible.
Yeah.
It's just the way I'm built. So I want you to do the same thing. With the Canadian immigration process, they want to see progressive growth. But what you do is I broke it into 4 quarters because I said 1 year, right? So
Yeah.
the first quarter, I want you to spend the most money. Then after that, we slowly reduce it.
Okay.
So every quarter is 3 months. Now, where do you promote it? I worked with, Philip will agree to this, but there's 2 areas you can probably start promoting: Ontario, Toronto, and British Columbia, Vancouver.
Okay.
Those are 2 areas. Whenever you spend money, spend it in those areas first. Great place to start. Then the investment I recommend is spend 300 Canadian for the whole quarter. That means 100 Canadian a month. Now, this is predominantly focused on Google right now, or you can do, as I said, Facebook. If you do it on Facebook, only focus on Instagram right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't spend money on Facebook itself. The market is not there for you. Instagram is where the market, the type of people you're attracting, they're there.
And mostly on Instagram, yeah.
Correct. So quarter 2 and quarter 3, that means 2 full quarters, that's 6 months. I want you to focus a little bit on now studying the analytics. Because after you spend the money on the first 3 months, you can look at the statistics, how much people are clicking, where are people clicking, which ad is working, which ad is failing. Turn off. I always recommend work on 3 ad sets. That means 3 package of ads. 1 maybe target designers, 1 event organizers, 1 generic. saying this is meta modules. Those are the three you usually start with. And then I want you to turn off 2 in the second and third quarter. 2 of them will fail, like the ads. So you still have 3, but you cut the ads down to 1 ad each.
Okay.
Make sure in quarter 2 and quarter 3 you're cutting off things, because then you're spending less money but on 1 ad only. This is why I say the word low reach.
Initially you said 3 ads for 3 for events, 3 for designers, and 3 for generic.
Correct.
For the first quarter.
Yeah, that's actually what you start with. Exactly.
Okay.
So go from 3 ad sets down to 1. That means you then finalize the best ads from all 3, merge them into 1, saying this is all we're going to advertise for the rest of the year.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Take the best of the lot.
Yeah, best of the lot.
Take the best of the lot. Yeah.
Exactly. And that way you're still targeting all 3, but you're taking 1 ad only from each.
Yeah.
And that way you get to, again, by the way, at that time, if you need to show a progress update, in case you get asked, you can show them saying, look, we did this. We're now strategizing. We're changing our attack strategy to making focus on just one. These are the messages that work for our customers. So when you talk about market validation, the 2 goals, like I said, are obviously collecting people's email is one, but the other thing is also showing how you're improving your product. The whole point of validation is understanding what you should actually spend money building when you land in Canada. This is how you're going to find out. Then quarter 4, this is the last quarter. You can see I've brought it to 30 Canadian dollars a month. Very cheap now. You're just running it. At this point, you're just keeping progress so you can show that there's traction. But during that time, you'll notice the numbers will drop, right? What you will tell the immigration government is saying, this is the time we're upgrading our ideas.
Okay.
We're kind of taking the research now and applying it, so that when, hopefully by then, you start reaching the stage where IRCC is asking for updates. So you can show them the whole year worth of updates. You can show them the changes you made on the website. So one suggestion, the website, before you make changes on it, take a screenshot of the website.
Okay.
So that you have a copy and you can say, hey, this is my copy here. This is where we started. Now look, we made all these changes with our marketing team.
Okay.
It's just honestly, the update is really a sharing session of how much work you're putting in, because they want to avoid people that are just sitting on their hands going, I don't want to do anything. That's what they want to avoid. So as long as you're showing progress, which my suggestion would be the Indian team only needs to post maybe once every week or once every 2 weeks even. That's already good enough. Don't go crazy, because the companies will try to convince you, oh, let's do every week, grow your traction. You really don't need to spend that much money yet. Go slow and spend little by little. If the feedback from the incubator comes in saying you need to do more, then we can discuss again, no problem.
Right.
But start small, don't start big. But only the expenditure, you can see the rough estimates are 300 Canadian for 2 quarters, and then 90 Canadian for the last one. So I'm really trying to shrink your spend so that you have more budget available for extra activities you need. Because I'm sure you're spending money on setting up the business in Canada too, which is a requirement, right? Now, you asked for a sample. I wanted to show, this is more like, you understand how ads work. I'm sure the marketing team will understand the top part. And then I wrote a sample for you. So when you do a Google ad, you break it down into a title, headline. Then there's a description. Mind you, Google ads kind of work like you can do 10 descriptions and it'll swap by itself.
Okay.
So the idea here is you're always trying new things and learning what works, what doesn't. And all I recommend you do for validation is you record what you found. This is the problem many clients suffer from when they try to do it themselves, is they forget to record it. So get your marketing team to give you a report, ask for it from the Indian marketing team. Give me a report, what worked, what didn't. It doesn't matter if things don't work. It really doesn't matter. Tell them it's not a problem. We just want to report it like a journal, because then we can submit it to the immigration. Now,
meeting.
All good? Yep. And then you'll see the URL path, right? Right now, these are fake, by the way. You don't actually have to create them. So the trick I use in Google, for example, this is Google, for example, and Facebook has the same, is you can write the URL here, but then when they click on it, it just goes to the Meta Modules website, for example. You see what I
Okay.
mean? But that way you can
Yeah.
add more keywords inside. That's the strategy I'm using. And you know how many people in the event industry like the word free. So I try to squeeze that in. So going like, look, you can try for free, you can upgrade your events. Now in this sample, I focused on upgrade your events, premium 3D assets from Meta Modules, remind them the name, right? And then stunning
Yeah.
pre-made designs, customize them and create unforgettable experiences. So this is really focused on the event companies. And later, of course, Yash, you mentioned like to give you some samples. I will prepare that, no problem. They will look like this. So I'll give you one for each.
Yeah.
But underneath are site link extensions. Now, maybe you will start working with the Indian team to also build a WordPress website, maybe, right? They might offer that. And if you're willing to take that, they can make you more pages. If you do that, the bottom part is an example of what these other pages can look like. Here's some testimonials. Just make up the testimonials of Mr. Drago, your current clients.
Yeah.
You can attach your testimonial there. Just make it sound like it's for Meta Modules, and then it's kind of real because you're the founder, right? And then the other side is browse 3D categories. So it shows that you have props, environments, characters, and all these different things. So it's really
Where do
demonstrating.
you get those 3D assets from?
Now, good question. So I've given you two samples. You can, of course, use the samples as much as you want. But now, if you need to, by any circumstance, if you feel like you want to, it would be beneficial for you to do this. But as part of your MVP, the full MVP, normally you will create maybe 2 or 3 assets. You will actually just hire 3D designers in India.
Okay.
And you know, like I
Okay.
mentioned to you, Blender and all these tools just now. Those are the designers you hire. Tell them I want it for Metaverse. Give me, show them your website, how I have the 3D model. Tell them, make me something like this and make it for events. So give me a smoke machine or something and make it so that you have maybe some of your old clients, Mr. Rego, you can put their logo there.
Yeah.
So you can show like, look, there's a logo for a real customer. And as part of your application, normally they will want to see you have real customers. Now, if any of your customers are international, which you have quite a few, and if they have Canadian presence, you can ask them, hey, is it okay if I use your logo for some of my promotion? Then you can put it on this. And they'll, to show Canadian government that you have a Canadian company that has their logo there, that's what you want. Your, if you're going to make assets, put their logo there. That's the money. You know what I mean? That's why you're doing it. You're doing it for showing off only, not for actually, you know, the conversion yet. So these are examples of what we call site extensions, site link extensions. So make sure the advertising team in India does this or adds this for you. These are extra pages you can add. Now, like I said, at this moment, you only have one page because if you did MVP Lite, but I'm sure you're probably going to get questions from India like, hey, let's build you a WordPress website. If you do that, go ahead. There's no problem with that. It's just make sure you add the right pages, strategize with your marketing.
But is the WordPress website important, Philip?
I don't necessarily think it's requirement as long as you can keep adding pages, because the GitHub thing I built for you, you can add more pages to it.
Okay.
So you have two choices. I'm going to give you options. Now, realistically, the more, because you're doing all this work as well, that will be part of your updates. So to answer the question there, and Philip, please do let me know if you'd like to add to it. I think you can get away with adding maybe 1 or 2 more pages on the current GitHub site.
Okay.
And then showing the work that you're putting on, all the work you're putting onto ads, packaging that will already be quite a good result for you. You could do that. Now, if by any chance, because it's not in our control, if they go, we want to see you build an MVP, at that point, that's when you really want to start considering. Now, Philip, this is something it's a bit out of scope on my end. It's like, do they have to build an MVP? A lot of clients, from my experience, they do build an MVP. It does make their application easier, but I will leave that to Philip to answer.
Yeah, so I'll jump in. It happened before that the IRCC requested proof of development of a prototype. I don't know how far they go into their definition of what is a prototype or not. I feel reassured that MetaModules can have, let's say, 2 or 3 modules, or like, you know, the 3D things. You can
Assets,
explain this, but generally so far, what IRCC has been asking is, what have you achieved? You know, so it's everything that has been done so far. So I understand MetaModule is already incorporated in Canada. I understand you have IP protected. You have a website.
Yep.
You're about to
Yep.
start some marketing. So you'll have some, you know, users trying your website, your business concept, your solution. So altogether, this is usually what IRCC is looking for and has been accepted so far.
Exactly.
Also, Nikki, quick question. Would it be possible for the assets that you used, right? Can we sort of make a cart so basically you add another page to the GitHub site?
On GitHub, you probably won't be able to do that because GitHub doesn't have any PHP coding or something like that. It's
Okay.
purely static, right? So if you
Okay.
want to do a cart,
Okay.
here's an option for you. This might take the Indian team a little bit more effort because it's not allowed in India, but it's allowed in Canada. So they might have to use a VPN. But you know, Instagram, you can make a shop in Instagram, right?
Okay.
Nowadays, you can make a shop in Instagram. You can attach the whole shop in Instagram directly and just link it. So you don't have to build more website stuff, and it's directly on social media. And that way you can show, look, it's MVP, so you don't want to build so much right now. So you're testing social media selling. That's a whole new thing you can just add in, and it's a lower cost of build. So you don't have to build a full e-commerce thing. You're taking advantage of somebody else's infrastructure.
Okay. Also, in the 2 3D modules that you put on the website, right?
Yeah.
Can you take the lights out? Can you take something out? Is it possible to do that? Or
So those are actually just free assets we took from like a open source. That means it's no license. I can use it for commercial.
Okay.
So it's not actually like we can modify it, but really you will want to hire a 3D model designer to modify it more.
Okay.
But yes, in theory, 100%, you can totally start making changes to it. Because the whole point of asset is you can download it and play with it, right?
Can you send us the link to those as well?
Yeah, of course.
The open source link.
Give me 2
And
minutes.
if at all you could give us the website where you get the open source thing from, so then probably.
Of course, yeah. If you just give me 1 minute right now, I'll send it to you right here in the chat.
Yeah.
Bear with me, yeah.
Because what I was thinking, this Instagram thing is good, you know, you get a couple of designers to design a couple of things and you just put it up there for dollars right now, and then obviously later on as whatever, just to show, like, you know, everything is to show right now. So
Exactly. And that's the whole point, right? So let me just pull this up. Give me 1 second.
How do we go about putting, like, if you're saying put an Instagram shop,
Yeah.
how do we go about putting more modules in the cart? Like,
Oh, so
is
in
it
Instagram, when you log into Instagram in Canada, you have this option to add a shop. So then
okay?
you can just add products in their own backend in Instagram itself.
So we have to do it. Not a third party can't do it. I mean, we have to do it. So we have to log in from Instagram and then add it. Or
Yeah, I mean,
see, if I have someone who's designing for me,
oh no, you have
I don't.
yeah,
So he has to send it to me, and then I will upload it.
yeah, but remember, you're not uploading the 3D model. You're uploading like maybe a PNG or a JPEG because it's just a flat shot, right? And then they can click on a link, then they go back to your website to see the asset, and they can make the purchase back on Instagram. So
Okay, fine.
it's not the perfect user experience, but it's kind of MVP, right?
No. How can you tell me what that was? Can you explain the flow of that? Please?
Sure. So I go to Instagram, I create a shop, I then add products manually, right?
But only pictures of it.
Only pictures. You're not
only pictures of it.
Now you could ask the 3D designer to give you a GIF, so it's animated a little bit. I don't know if it's 100% possible. Depends on Instagram changes all the time, so You have to check if it's possible, but I can guarantee flat works. Then what you want to do is on the backside of that is you want to be able to have a link to purchase the item. But if they want to
Yep.
see the model, you might have to upload it in your GitHub or something so they can see it as a demo. But underneath the demo, you will then put in a button that says buy now, and that will take you back to Instagram.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's kind of how the whole thing works. If you want to go in that direction. So I'm just going to open up the two places. So let me just share real quick my screen. So of course you have your Meta Modules website.
Yeah.
Ready to go. You can play with it. You can work on the assets however you want. And here's a cool thing. You
Yep.
can even static to make it flat. So that's what you would normally upload. Like it's flat, not animated. Right? And then you have your model inspector. You can check post-processing. You can cut it. You can remove it. You can really see the infrastructure. This is important for designers to work on. So how does this all work? There's a website called Sketchfab.
Okay.
So what I want you to do, if you want to go in that direction, now this is not really marketing, this is more MVP, but I'll tell you exactly how to do this. Make an account in Sketchfab called Meta Modules. Okay. Now, instead of you selling directly on your site for now, you can make an account and start selling. You can hire Indian designers to make designs for Meta Modules and then resell them in your page here. So then you can show this, our shop is posted on Sketchfab, which is where all Canadian people shop anyway. And this is our prototype, MVP. So we're selling here as well. Now you can tell immigration that you have collaborated and worked with Sketchfab to work and build custom designs that you're selling. That would be above and beyond, in my opinion, because now you're actually selling.
Okay, hold on. So we make an account on Sketchfab with Meta
Yeah.
Modules, make the designer to make the designs, and then sell them on Sketchfab.
Correct. And you know when you sell them on Sketchfab, like I'm clicking on one right now. This is a 3D model. What am I clicking on? Let's see. Let's go to this art gallery, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like a great base station for an event.
Yeah.
Now, what I would do is you will notice that I have a link. So if I go in that link, I can actually directly link into the products and attach these on the website. So you can click on it and it'll take you to Sketchfab to do the purchase.
Now, I have a quick question. Nikki, can we have these guys, whatever, $59, $69, $5, whatever, right? Can we reach out to them and tell them that
Sure.
this is what we need to do, and we put that on the Instagram thing for free, and we link it through Meta Modules, and we make a commission out of that?
100%, you can. But the problem you'll have is the negotiation. That part, it depends 100% on you. From my experience, it's cheaper to hire them to build the design,
Yeah.
get it like kind of the way you want it,
Yeah.
what you would expect in Metaverse, and then you would sell
This
it
is not
as a
Metaverse.
Metaverse. Sorry?
This is not Metaverse.
This is just the assets. They get plugged into Metaverses.
No, but this is, so basically we are in the business of selling assets, right?
Correct.
Right. So, and and how much does an asset cost to build?
So it ranges, right? So if you go to somewhere like in the Indian market, probably a lot cheaper than Canada, you would probably expect to pay upwards of maybe within 100 Canadian, you can get a nice asset already.
Okay.
It's not that
So
expensive.
all these assets are meta ready right now.
Not 100%, but the thing is,
Not
you don't
100%.
need to make them meta ready yet. Because when
So
you launch the full business, that's when
Yeah.
you can spend more money to, if you choose to, you'll spend more money to
Yeah.
develop the functionality to make it metaverse ready. But right now, it involves extra steps. But yes, you can put these into metaverses.
So
If-
now,
Okay.
now, Nikki, here's the thing, right? Do you know of anyone in India who makes assets?
Not in India, but I do know people in Portugal.
Can you put me in touch with them?
Let me reach out. If I
Yeah.
get access to them, I'll connect you guys, no problem.
Yes.
But
Philip, what I'm trying to do over here by doing all this by myself, Nikki, again, right, is to make sure that there is no question IRCC will have left when they see Mr. Drago's application.
even if they do, I'm here to answer them for you.
No, what I'm trying to say is that, we have so much work done already. Like, then there is like, then it's
Yeah.
just a question of whether the startup is going to kick off or not, right? And now that's by definition a startup. You never know.
Correct. You don't know. Yes, exactly. So I just want to show you, if you go on YouTube, design metaverse assets, just type that in.
Yeah.
It will show you how they're importing in different places. Decentraland. Remember, in part of your business plan, I said we're going to connect to different metaverses.
Yeah.
This is a video, for example, in 1 minute, how you can import the thing you design into a marketplace here. So you can upload it to Decentraland and set it up. So the long-term goal, if you were to design a full MVP, we would have a WordPress site where you can see many modules and you can click purchase and we will send you automatically the 3D model. And because it's MVP, we will make all assets free. So it's just click, fill in a form, you get the asset emailed to you, but we collected your email.
Yeah, okay.
The game plan is the 2 assets you have. I kind of want them, if you want to improve on that, you can just use them and say, if you want to get these assets, like click here and we will download them and send them to you.
Okay. Can you help us do that?
I can, but that's part of the MVP project. So
No, the existing
oh, I've already got you the links. So the metaverse, like here, honestly, if you're hiring someone to make updates on this website,
yeah,
they can do that
Yep.
already, where they can have like a little button saying download now.
no, okay. Download now, then they get the email and then you show
They
that it's
force them to do a pop-up saying fill in your email and
Yeah.
then it'll email them automatically. The marketing team can do that for you. If you want the exact link,
Yeah.
let me just send that to you 1 second. I'll send it to you right now so you have it right off
Yeah.
the bat. So this is, for example, the model we're using in Sketchfab. So what I've done is I've removed all the Sketchfab stuff.
Yeah.
So you can have
Yeah.
directly the model without any of the extra stuff. So it looks nicer for your MVP Lite. Here you go. So it's ready for, this one is metaverse ready. So Decentraland, which is the big metaverse,
Yep.
this is ready
Yep.
for it. So, and this one is free for open distribution. But what they have is Sketchfab version. So all you got to do is go ahead and add it, share it, or buy it. So you would download this. You can see, I want to buy this. Same here, I want to buy. Same, I want to buy. So that's why I'm saying we were just using this in MVP Lite to demonstrate. But realistically, if you actually just hire a designer, make one version, and then have them download that one for free, that's what MVP would be. You see what I mean? So
No,
if I
again,
was
can
to do the
you
full
repeat
version,
that, please?
that's what I would build.
Yeah. No, can you repeat that? I didn't quite understand.
So the next step here, you can see here, I can't download the asset anymore, right? I
Okay.
can just view it. So for MVP Lite, we just needed to showcase the assets, right?
Okay.
Because I don't want you guys to pay for any assets yet. But if you're gonna work with a designer, any designer to like just build you something nice like this, they can then just give you the files. You will upload it onto your website or make a link. And when they click on it, they can just download it from you by giving you an email. The marketing team can do that for you after you design an asset that you can download for free.
Okay. For that, you're going to reach out to the guys in Portugal and let me know.
I will try to connect you there. And until then, because there's no promises, like I can't guarantee that I'll find someone for you exactly. But until then, just do yourself a favor. They have partners in Sketchfab. So if you just go to Upwork and all these other websites in India, you can look for any Sketchfab designer.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm sure you will find some more faster because you're in the market already. And Portugal will be more expensive for sure compared to India.
Yeah, so instead of 100 Canadian, it will be 150 or 200.
Depends on what you want them to build. So they will ask you that question. So what I suggest is,
Okay, so now let's say if we do want them to build something, right? But it's going to be small things, like it's going to be a smoke machine or a light or something like that, right? So is that an expensive asset to build or?
not necessarily. So here's an example, right?
Yeah.
The only thing is, I don't want you guys to take something for free and try to sell that or give it away, because
Yeah.
that's against the rules. So you would be breaking, like, I don't want you guys to have any lawsuit issues. That's the only thing you gotta avoid, right? Like, these are free. I can download the 3D model right now.
No, but can we not
Yeah.
reach out to this guy and tell
You
him
can,
that?
100%. So you can now email him. If I click here,
Yeah.
the document, you can see, like, I need to find his,
Contact info.
yeah, which is not, like, is not visible here. So I'll have to Google him and look for him. There you go, Scala and Entourage. You can see they do trade shows. So they're in the same business model as you. So I will go Sketchfab. And then now I gotta hunt it down basically. So this is what I'm gonna be doing anyway.
Oh.
So if you guys can do it faster in India, it's probably recommended to do that because you're gonna work with these people multiple times probably.
Right.
Yeah.
But just to give you an idea, that's what a
So,
small
so technically I could reach out to Sketchfab and I could not Sketchfab, this guy who's built this.
Yep.
Right. And I could tell him that, you know, the way you've linked it on Sketchfab, right? Why don't you let me link it on my website?
Yeah.
Right, on Meta Modules, and if someone buys it, you get money. For him, it's free.
Technically speaking, yes, you could do that. But right now, what I would say is the reason I gave you the option of go and just get something built, like just one item and give it away for free, like a stage.
Yeah.
That way you control the whole transaction. You can give it away for free. There's no third party involved.
No, this I'm talking about the MVP. So technically, this is, so basically we are building an Amazon sort of an experience, right?
Kind of, yes.
Right, for this. So if at all we reach out to this guy, whatever,
Skyline on
Skyline Entourage, right? We tell them that, hey, you put it on Sketchfab for free anyway. Why don't you put it up? Let us put it up on our site, right? And
and let us distribute your products, and we will put your logo there. So technically speaking, if you get in touch with anybody in Sketchfab and do that, and they say yes, you're allowed to do it. And I wouldn't even build a new website. I would just embed all the products and saying download here, but then you would make the experience better. Like instead of going to Sketchfab to download, you would download the assets before and just make it easy. So they click, fill in an email, and they get your file immediately. If you can upgrade that as a website, the MVP Lite, to do that, that's kind of in the middle of MVP Lite and MVP.
Yeah.
And you save a lot of money that way. And as Philip already mentioned, you're doing a lot more already. So I think at that point, you can kind of pause and focus on just advertising.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like
So these are all ideas that, again, we have a year to do this, right? So I'm sort of keeping the ideas in mind. And that being said, I've noticed other startup visa cases flying through right now. So there's a possibility of them coming back to us very soon with, asking.
That's why the document we shared is mostly about marketing. Start that now.
Yeah, I think the Facebook page, I don't know why I'm not able to see it, but the Insta page is up and live.
Okay, perfect. So start growing followers, start collecting the story. Basically, IRCC wants you to tell them a story about how much work you did.
Yeah. So now, if at all, after this call, if you send me those samples whenever you get time today,
I'll add the samples in for each post, like a sample post, and then I'll send it to you by today, a PDF file. I'll give it to the Mandeville team. They will forward it to you.
Right.
So we keep the process clear on that.
Right. And do we have to do any blog posting or anything like that?
So I added that in, but I don't think you will have enough time personally to do all of that work at the same time. So my suggestion is put that at the bottom of the list.
Okay.
Because also, like,
we know that we need to get done.
I think you got enough. Like with the blog, the problem you have is you still have to then build the blog.
Yeah.
And that's easier if you had MVP already. You've got MVP Lite. Why not just utilize what you have first and promote that?
Okay.
The look wise, the thing is, compared to a lot of the SUV applications, if you go to their website, you'll see some other people's sample applications. Your website already looks way better.
Okay.
So in that case, it's more like when you click and you fill in that form.
Yeah.
Make sure you're collecting the emails. That's what you want to show. And
keep track of that.
Yeah, and usually something nice I like to do is instead of giving them an Excel file, like here's all the things, I kind of make a presentation, a screenshot, rewrite the copy to make it look beautiful and going like, this is the customer stories that we're hearing. Because if you look at it, right, I actually asked them that. Like, tell us why meta modules is useful to you. So that's what you want them to understand, like why something like this is useful for the Canadian market.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then you will be, because of your ads and all your marketing efforts, you'll be able to even tell which areas in Canada are clicking, stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's pretty much how the whole plan should work. The document I will just update and send to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I think then we're pretty solid with the game plan.
Yeah.
Don't remember, try not to block this, that all at the same time. Only go into that emergency mode if IRCC sent you a letter.
Okay.
And you're worried that you don't have enough. But generally speaking, as part of the Mandible team, it's our job to advise you on if you need to do more or not. So start with the marketing validation first, then slowly start moving towards creating your own asset, because that becomes another story. And then you can go into, look, we made our own asset, then we started selling it, then we even uploaded to Sketchfab. Now I've got 2 years worth of updates for you there. You see what I mean? I'm like stretching it all out.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So now, Nikki, just to understand everything, right? You will be sending us that document that you just showed.
Correct.
us,
I'll
right?
just add one page to have more samples.
Correct. Plus the link to this video. What we just-
Yes, the Mandible team will send it to you. Yeah.
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 Also, you'll try and reach out to the guys in Portugal.
I will reach out. I've already sent a message to my friend in Portugal to see if he has any connections.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be too early right now for them.
Yeah, but just remember,
Too early.
it's way too early for them. But
Yeah.
the only thing I would say is don't do the asset now. Don't start that yet. Do the market validation, get some feedback, and then the messaging will be, we studied the market, people wanted a free demo, then we went and built it, then we produced it.
How do you know that they want a free demo? We don't know that, right? But that's the story that
We're guessing here. So what we need to do is use the market validation to understand,
right.
is the two things we have enough? Because maybe we might find out we don't even need to do anything else. Because we
Right.
got so much feedback, people saying they want it. Now you can stop really, because that might be more than enough. And because of the game plan, you're advertising constantly. So you'll showcase growth and increase. Growth and increase, growth and increase.
Okay. Okay.
And
Okay.
every time someone touches your website, they're adding a
Yeah.
view, right? So you can even show numbers. It's the way you present the numbers. It's like, oh, we had 10,000 people view our metaverse modules that we added to our MVP live, or MVP, sorry. You don't tell them live, you just tell them.
Right. Okay.
So you see what I mean? It's all about the storytelling here to showcase, look how much work is being put in. And we are ready to move to Canada now, so we can make this a reality. That's kind of the message.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Honest.
Cool. So if I may, I would say, like, I will connect you to the person, whoever I can, for 3D assets, but don't start that connection yet.
Okay.
I'll just send you the email saying whenever you're ready, you send it to me an email. But until then, maybe loosely look in India if you can make some connections, because it'll be nice for your business if you want to start really running this thing.
Yeah.
There is a business case here. So that's totally up to you. But there is a serious business case here where people will need services like this.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Fantastic. So I will probably take a short break and then I'll start updating the presentation and I'll
Sure.
email you that PDF.
Okay.
All right. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Lovely.
Also, do you have any questions for Philippe now?
Me? No.
Okay.
Fantastic. Lovely to meet you all. Keep in touch.
Yeah, same here.
Good. All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks,
Have a
Nikki.
good day.
Yeah, thanks, Philip. Bye.